So, I mean, at the time when you lost your job, you had a family, you were married and had a family, you had kids to support.
Yes.
I would think most people would be sitting there going, gosh, I need to figure out the job thing. But you went to service, and that's the pivot that I'm interested in.
It was like the voice of God spoke to me, and he said, okay, it was like practical, a transparent conversation. He's like, look, buddy, I know you lost your job. That's not good, but there's a lot of other things out there that are more important than you just losing your job. But I heard that audibly, and it said hospice. And so, but I wanted to serve. Yes, hospice.
Hospice. Did you know people in hospice? Did you have any experience with hospice? You hear hospice.
Didn't, but one thing come to my mind. People just come here to die.
Hi, friend. It's Daryn. Welcome to Call Me Friend, powered by Miss Lou's Cabin, an Airbnb property on remote section of the Georgia coast. This is the podcast where I call a friend and you get one heck of an incredible story. Question of the day: how are we going to get you out of your slump? How do I know you're in a slump? Well, because nobody rides for free. The biggest slump of my life came some years back. I had ended a relationship with somebody I loved very much, but we had come to figure out we had two different visions of what we wanted for our futures. And then 2 weeks later, CNN let me know they weren't going to renew my contract. I was completely untethered, which for me is not a good feeling at all. And I didn't know how to kind of get out of my own way, get out of my own blues. I did eventually figure something out. How? With, of course, the help of my friends like you. Today, we are going to meet a new friend of mine. This is a guy that, oh boy, he has had some major slumps. Your heart will break when you hear what he's been through, but also your heart will expand when you find out the secret of how he got out of his slump and what he is still doing to this day. It is something that is going to, I'm just so sure, inspire you. And as a side note, he has a voice of angels. Your soul is going to soar when you get to hear him sing. So let's get out of all these blues or whatever is keeping us down, and let's call Kevin Dunn. This episode is powered by Miss Lou's Cabin, an Airbnb property on a remote section of the Georgia coast. Do you ever go to a beautiful resort and you long to know what this place looked like before they paved paradise and put up all those parking lots? Well, here's your chance. Miss Lou's Cabin sits on 7 private acres on a tidal saltwater marsh about 15 minutes south of Savannah, Georgia. It is a place so quiet that you don't even hear road noise. Instead, you're going to hear pink spoonbills, wild dolphins feeding off your private dock. I just saw some this morning. The breeze whistling through the Spanish moss that hangs from countless oak trees all around the property. And then there's this porch overlooking the marsh that is absolutely a perfect place to hang with your family and friends, read a zillion books, catch the sunrise, drink a great cup of coffee, all while you stay in a restored log cabin that has all the comforts and amenities of a beautiful home. Miss Lou's Cabin, check it out in the link below in our show notes, or simply Google Miss Lou's Cabin and you'll find this piece of paradise. Well, hey, Kevin. Hey, friend. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, friend, back at you. Thank you for extending the invitation for me to take your call.
Yeah, I have a way of doing that, just reaching out to people who inspire me and saying, hey, can we be friends? And thank goodness you didn't think it was some freaky lady and you're like, yeah, okay, I'll jump on.
It was great. It was great. Yeah. And it was, like I said, it was ironic that some of my colleagues, friends had told me, where I need to share the story, even though I don't know how to do that. But then when I saw you were formerly with CNN, I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is a start. I don't know. Let's go.
It's a start, if nothing else. If nothing else, it'll be a good start for us and the other friends that listen into this podcast. So welcome and thank you for being here. And if I may be so presumptuous, could you kind of warm things up with a little piece of a song? Maybe something that just comes to you. You pick. Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long.
so beautiful. The voice of angels, especially when you go high, and I know nothing about singing. If you asked me to return the favor, Kevin, this podcast would be over in about 2 seconds.
Okay, I understand.
True story. You want to hear a true story? 7th grade, I tried out for choir. And Mrs. Wyatt said, Daryn, the school newspaper is just down the hall. And that was the start of my journalism career. That's how I started going into news, because I got kicked out of Mrs. Wyatt's 7th grade choir.
So Ms. Wyatt did you a favor.
Yes, she did. The whole world, let's just say.
Great.
So I extra appreciate a beautiful voice like yours. Thank you. So from those beautiful notes and that beautiful high, let's go low to that's one of these very low moments of your life. I'm thinking goes back several years now. But when you're at this stoplight and you lost your job, bring me to that moment.
Okay. Basically, after losing that job of 12 years, I'd already, I've been singing in churches and doing some, small stuff. And so I was like, I want to give back since, I have time now. So let's see how I can give back. So I told myself, I was like, let me go to the nursing home. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to go to the nursing home and volunteer my services. And
wait, let me just jump in 1 second here, because what I'm really interested in too is, so I mean, at the time when you lost your job, you had a family, you were married and had a family, you had kids to support.
Yes.
I would think most people would be sitting there going, gosh, I need to figure out the job thing. But you went to service, and that's the pivot that I'm interested in.
It was like the voice of God spoke to me, and he said, okay, it was like practical. I mean, a transparent conversation. He's like, look, buddy, I know you lost your job. That's not good, but it's a lot of other things out there that are more important than you just losing your job. And that was actually what was spoken to me. And then being at that traffic light, that's when I heard that voice. It was audible. Don't get the chance to hear a lot of audible voices, but I heard that audibly, and it said hospice. And so, but I wanted to serve. Yes, hospice.
Hospice. Did you know people in hospice? Did you have any experience with hospice? You hear hospice.
Didn't, but one thing come to my mind. And this is a misconception with all of my training and being here for so long. The misconception is people just come here to die. And that was the first thing that came to my mind. And that's why when that came to my mind, I'm like, well, I don't think I really should do that, because I already know I'm
going to go to this place where people just die. Like, right. That's not going to solve my professional problems. Let's start with that. And 2, talk about a downer of an audience, right? Like, that's not who I want to. If I am going to use this gift of my song, why would I go do it a bunch of dying people?
Absolutely. And so I immediately told myself, okay, that's not for me.
That was a misdirected message.
I heard somebody else talking to me that was not, speaking directly. And another thing too, I knew I was a very compassionate person. And I also didn't want to come here too, because I knew the possibility of knowing people and building relationships. And those relationships may not last long, and, they pass on. But anyway, I was like, okay, I want to volunteer. Let me call and find out the volunteer coordinator. And Joyce Wood was her name. She was the first one there. And so I made the call and got the training. And here we are 23 years later.
That is crazy. So you can just call a hospice and say, I want to come sing? Or did they say, oh, why don't you come volunteer and pass out magazines or something?
It's a process you go through.
Okay.
And they let you know what's available, because there are so many great people here that do so many great things. But I knew I wanted to sing, so I wanted to, get clearance on what do I need to do. Of course, you have to go to the training and find out all the guidelines and what they expect of you. And once you do that, you're able to volunteer. So I'm like, okay, all y'all rules and guidelines, I can follow those very easily. So So I came in and started singing.
So starting 23 years ago, once a week, you come to this hospice and you sing.
Yes.
And what does that look like?
What does that look like?
Or sound like, or all of it?
Like,
yeah.
Okay. Well, it's interesting. When I first started, I had this little, it's like a little box.
Like a boom box?
It was called it was more fancy than a boombox. It was a PB Protege.
Sorry, I don't mean to insult you by calling your nice equipment a boombox.
I was just real proud of that. That was one of the first pieces of equipment I bought. But it was a PB Protege, and I rolled that in, and I had a little microphone with it. I brought that box for like maybe 8 years, and every week brought the box. So one week, my wife and we had swapped cars.
No box.
So I didn't have my box with me. So I thought about it. I'm like, well, I just can't not go because I don't have my box. So I decided to come here and just do acapella. Okay. When I finished that day, this lady comes out of the hall, and I wish I could meet this lady to tell her what she started. But she came out to me and she said, Kevin, I want to tell you something, but I don't want to offend you. She's like, I've been here 2 or 3 weeks, and I've heard you with your music. She said, it sounds great. She said, but when I heard your voice without the music, I heard the true instrument that God has given you. So from that day forth, my 8th year, everything has been strictly a cappella the whole time. She changed that. She changed the trajectory of what I was doing. I don't know who she is. I don't know where she is, but I really would like to see her again. And because she really started something that was precious.
And let her know. So you stand in the lobby?
They're like in this facility, it's like 4 inpatient pods. And in those pods, it's like a living room. And then you have 4 rooms inside of there. So basically, I go in the living room area, which is a pod, and I just stand there and I just start singing. You know, sometimes people open the doors. Sometimes people ask me to come in. That's one of the things in the training, though. You can't knock on people's door, knock on people's doors to go in. So, but basically, I'm in the pod, and then when I'm invited into a room, I go into rooms and sing at patients' bedside when I'm invited.
And that's just incredible to have that interaction.
It really is. It really is. And, people have shared with me over the years, they say, Kevin, you have no idea what you are doing, what you have done, how you touched and how you affected lives. And I get the same thing back in return. There are some people I've talked to at their bedside, and they're a week or two from passing away, and they're encouraging me. I'm going there to encourage them. But yeah, there have been times I'm like, you're in this position, and you're encouraging me. That's incredible.
So you show up to give, having no idea that you're going to even get more back.
Exactly.
Now, that's an incredible part of your story, and that would be enough of a story. You mentioned your wife. Now, several years into doing this weekly service where you show up at hospice and you sing, your wife got sick.
She did?
Yeah. And tell me about that journey.
Okay. After she had cancer, did the dual mastectomy, had the radiation, the chemo. Everything was like fine for like 2 years. And then like 2.5 years, how you have to do your follow-ups. A spot, came on her liver. And then things kind of took a toll from there and got progressively worse. And after all of it seems like the hospital was our second home. And it was, because she was always in the hospital. Thank God that I'm a business owner and I had the flexibility to always be with her. I spent the night. Just did doing what a husband's supposed to do. But when she got real sick, and we were in the last time she was in the hospital, and her oncologist came in, and he was like, "Okay, we got to make a decision here, because this is headed in a direction that, and she's a candidate to be on hospice care. So being here 14 years, I'm like, I know what they do here. I know what they have to offer. I know what they give. I'm fine. So we do that. So she's on
So your
hospice home care.
wife came to that hospice, the very hospice that you've been serving all these years. Now your wife is
Yes.
there.
Yeah, she was on home hospice for about a week and a half. Then she
Mhm.
came into the physical building. Yes, the same place where I had been 14 years, where I had never sat down. Because when I come in, I never sit down. I just go from area to area to area and sing. But here we are 14 years, and I'm sitting in on that same couch, that same place where I've helped encourage so many others. And now I'm sitting
Mhm.
in the same seat, and I'm like, wow. To go into a place for 14 years and never sit down, and then you find yourself sitting there, it's surreal.
My heart's breaking for you at this moment. I feel like I'm in the room there with you,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes.
Did you sing to her?
Yes, I did. And that
Mhm.
she used to joke when before sickness came. She was like, "Oh, he has this beautiful voice. He sings all these beautiful love songs." And they're like, "Deborah, I bet he just sings to you all the time." She's like, "No, he doesn't." But anyway, I would sing to her periodically. But during the final stages,
Mhm.
there were some times I sung to her as well, because that's one thing we learned in our training, that and you may know this, but hearing is the last thing to go. So
Mm.
I totally, I've understood what that meant over the years about hearing being the last thing to go. So I definitely sung to her and talked to her, and actually gave her. This may sound kind of. I gave her. I told her it was okay to go and be with the Lord, and to stop.
Mhm.
I'm like, stop fighting, you know. And so I shared that with her too before she passed. So I talked, I sang, held hands, did all that good stuff.
And then I feel like your story is, this is incredible and that's incredible. We just keep going up. You go back, like you come back to the same hospice every week where
Yes.
your wife passed. I think everybody would understand if you said, you know what, I've done my time. I've given my service, but this is just too raw. I can't be back here. How did you know you were supposed to still keep going back?
One thing, there's so many different ways I still honor her, even in her death. And one of the last things she would want me to do after experiencing that, one of the last things she would have had a fit if I decided not to go back because she came through here. So basically, I think I took 3 or 4 weeks off just to gather my head just a little bit. It still felt normal even after she came through here. And she still would say, "Okay, Kevin, this is an area that you're blessing a lot of people. You can't stop doing this." And
Tell
so
me
I did.
your wife's name.
Deborah.
Deborah.
Yes. Deborah.
Well,
Yes.
yeah. As a fellow wife, I feel very encouraged that we still get to wag our fingers at our husbands from beyond. So go, Deborah. I appreciate
Yes.
that.
Yes. And I still honor her coming up on the 10th year. I still give out a scholarship in her honor every year. We've given out over $10,000 because that's something she wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But she just wanted that. She always said if she goes before me, she's like, "Don't have a lot of flowers around my funeral. Save some money to let people go to school." So I did that one year, and then here we are. I just couldn't stop doing that because that's another way to honor her legacy.
That's incredible. We could do a whole hour on Deborah. Maybe we're gonna have to book that for later.
All right.
But what I really wonder is, what do you get out of doing this?
It's I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm making a difference in people's lives. Um, it's actually helping people to have hope. It's also encouraging people to still believe. It's helping people to see that there is not everybody now, but most of the people, that there's a peace even in this process, even in this transitional stage in life. There can be peace, um, and some. I can think of one time I was in a pod and I was singing Amazing Grace.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finished, three ladies come out of this room, and I mean, they're on me like I'm Michael Jackson or somebody. And they were just so thankful. And I'm like, what is
Mm-hmm.
going on? Their loved one passed when I was singing the song.
Mm.
And they were so grateful that their loved one felt that it was okay to release during that moment. I do want to show people, there's opportunities to volunteer. It may not be in hospice, but to encourage other people to volunteer in some capacity if you have some time. And just like I was feeling that, you know, even though I lost my job, that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's some people out here that need us.
I want to ask you about this service thing in a second, but first, our culture is so weird about death. We just can't handle death. We don't talk about death. We celebrate birth, the beginnings. We get very comfortable in the middle, but somehow we all want to skip over the endings. And yet, if there's one thing we all have in common, if there's one thing we all are going to do, it is that, right?
Absolutely.
And how has your relationship or your understanding of death changed by being there once a week, by having these interactions?
I think we can go back to my mom. When my mom was transitioning back in 2009, I was able to sing to her too, and do those same things. I believe that this experience being here has helped me in a lot of ways. That knowing that this is going to happen one day, there's no way to get around it.
So now I want to get back to this idea of service. I think that really is the secret sauce for getting out of any kind of slump. And you were touching on this, that yes, you go and sing once a week at a hospice in West Georgia, and you serve these people and these patients. But really, anybody can go do anything where they go and serve. I think that's how we get out of our own ways.
Absolutely. And what helped me, even though I didn't know it at the time, but when I was growing up, I saw my mom and dad do stuff, and it really didn't register with me. But as I got older, I'm like, man, they were insane. Some of the stuff that they did for the community, the way they gave back, the way they supported children, because they have, I think, 88 years of teaching combined together. My dad was a coach. And seeing some of the things my dad and them gave up, and how my mom would just go and feed people, take people clothes, take people food, take stuff out of the garden, take people around to doctor's appointments, and taking them to the grocery store. And I just saw all of that. But as I got older, I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want to give back, just like I saw my mom and dad give back. And
so bonus, your kids are seeing you do this, and
yes.
and you're modeling, even if they might roll their eyes or whatever. Those seeds are being planted.
That's the thing. Plant, and that's why I tell people a lot of times, be careful what you're letting your kids see you do, because some stuff rub off. And they came up with me, not a lot, but I have brought them to the building just to see what I do, just to let them see it that one time. And like you say, planting that seed. So,
that's definitely planted. I would say that. And then just to say, if we bring it full circle back to that moment at that stoplight, like, how am I going to rebuild my life? You did actually, even though at that moment it seemed like you didn't have a lot of options professionally, you have in ensuing years rebuilt your professional life. Yes.
I have. And it was also one of those things too, when I was saying I heard that voice that people are worse off than I am. But I heard that voice too. You take care of my business, I'll take care of your business. I felt like the Lord was saying that to me. Okay, take the focus off. I'm going to take care of you, but take care of me. Take care of what's dear to my heart, and I'll do exceedingly above all that you would ever ask or imagine. So I felt that was it wasn't in my hand at the time, but I believe that.
And it did come.
And it did come. Yeah.
It did come.
Did come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, a couple of questions I ask everybody who I call for this podcast. I'd like to know, who is the friend who changed your life or who the world needs to know about?
That is interesting. I have a new girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
And we just, November the 2nd, we just hit the year mark.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible woman. And not only that, she has the blessings of Deborah as well.
How do we know that?
Because Deborah she wanted me to be happy. She would not want me to be mulling around, being pitiful, because that was not who she was. She even told me, even before sickness came, that if something ever happened to her, she had picked out 2 or 3 wives from me. And I'm like, that's crazy. Who does that? But anyway, she's a speech therapist, and she has been a true blessing to my life. We're enjoying life together. She sings as well, and she actually has me doing some things that I said I never ever would do.
Such as, now we're getting to the good stuff, Kevin.
Being this close to another woman.
You thought Deborah was it.
Yeah. And that's what I said even after Deborah passed. Hey, ain't me even going out there. I've had the best. So, but the things that we do together, the things that we do that involves our families, my kids love her kids love me. And she's just been a joy, and she adds value to my life. She supports what I'm doing. She believes in what I'm doing. She adds value to who I am. And her name is Leah Kendrick. And
Leah,
she's been in my church. She's met everybody. So it's just, we're just walking into the sunset.
You said her text said something about your glow. You glow when you talk about her.
Oh, look at
yeah, look at
so
you.
That's the person I want to introduce the world to.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the friend, because she kind of has brought you back to life again, so to speak.
Exactly.
But now I have to be the nosy friend. So, how did we meet Leah?
It's interesting. She had been in a lot of the same circles that I was in some 20, 30 years ago, but we never knew each other.
So a lot of people in common.
Yes. So that's kind of like how it started. Somebody had been saying to her, hey, this guy right here, y'all need to, meet and whatnot. And she was not really interested. I wasn't really interested. But anyway, it happened. And then we had a conversation, and we laugh about this now because I just had one of my wisdom teeth out, my last tooth out. It drove me crazy. So when we first started texting, this tooth bothered me so bad, I didn't want to do nothing. I mean, I didn't want to text. I didn't want to. So she thought I was kind of like not interested.
Oh, the old cold shoulder. Got it. It's like, no, it's a bum tooth.
We're laughing about that now. But she hung around for a little while till I got to feeling better. And so we just started chit-chatting and had that first date. And it is so natural. It's like nobody has to put on any airs. It's just 2 people who are naturally meant for each other.
Oh, that's awesome. So the tooth is gone, but Leah is in. Tooth out, Leah in.
Hey,
got it.
That's another story.
Very good. And then I like to ask everybody, what are you recommending to friends? This is so superficial, because I like a little bit of superficial after we go so deep. It could be a book, a podcast, social media, food, a restaurant, whatever. What's the thing you're recommending?
I recommend people to take care of their bodies. There are so many people that don't do anything. People compliment me on how I look or whatnot. I'm like, I run 6 to 8 miles a week. I try to halfway eat right. I have some weight activities. They see me, I wish I could run like you. I say, you don't have to run. You can walk.
Just walk. Yep.
And so many people sitting around just eating what they want to eat, doing what they want to do, and no activity whatsoever. That's just not good.
Well, Such good advice any time of year, but now that we're kind of the beginning of the year, even better, right? Fresh starts.
Right.
Exactly. Well, Kevin, thank you so much. I'm so glad I called.
I'm so glad you did too.
Before I let you go, can I it doesn't even have to be the whole song. It can just be like a snippet of a song.
Okay.
Anything.
Anything.
It can be something you would sing at hospice or not.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll sing a little snippet of a song I wrote because I have recorded a couple of projects. So this is my modern day "How Great Thou Art" song. So I give you a snippet.
Love it.
Okay.
Let's have it.
Lord of the heavens, Lord of the galaxy, Lord of the universe, you reign forevermore.
Absolutely beautiful. I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
we're friends.
I am too.
Thank you,
and you're
Kevin.
so easy to talk to. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I'm assuming there's some places that people can find you, so we can link to those in the show notes. You'll share those with us. They can hear more of your music or follow what you're doing and hear more about you. Thank you, Kevin.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate what you do too, lady.
Thank you, friend.
Okay.
Well, that was all the things for me. It was, beautiful music. I loved Kevin's voice. I love the inspiration, but also he shared what I think is the secret to getting out of a slump. And that is service. Whether you are a person of faith like Kevin is or not, I really don't think that has anything to do with it. I think it's when you find something that you can help somebody else. It could be volunteering at an organization, or it could just be going to help one other person who needs it. I believe that it is physically not possible, follow me on this, it is not possible to be helping somebody else and have your brain focused on that, and at the same time have your brain in its own swirl, just thinking about yourself and your problems. So if for no other reason, just to spend the time doing that is a relief from the slump, a relief from constantly thinking about your own problems. You know, I shared with you that what my low point was, and I've also shared on earlier episodes that my way out, and it wasn't my idea, I had to be pushed to it, was to sign up for Big Brothers Big Sisters. And in the time that I was spending with that little girl, who, yes, went on to become our daughter, but side story, but the time that I was spending with that little girl, whether we were going for a cookie, whether we were doing arts and crafts, whether we were doing some kind of activity, the time I was with her, I couldn't be thinking about my own troubles, about my own sadness, about my own slump. And that was kind of the beginning of climbing out. So if this is your time for a slump, I challenge you. What is the thing you're going to do to go serve, to go help somebody else? I would love to hear about it. And there's so many ways to get in touch with me. You can give me a phone call, as a matter of fact. I have a line that you can call 24/7. The line is 912-766-0446. You can use that to call. You can leave a voicemail. You can use that to text me. It's kind of, I'm just waiting to hear from you. And then also, you know, we're on all the social platforms, and you can also comment below here on this podcast. What's got you down, and what are you going to do to get out? I'd love to hear from you. Also, what friend do I need to meet of yours? Because that's what this is all about. And then one thing I'm asking of you, what I really need your help with, and I'm being serious here, I need help growing this podcast. There are a few ways to do that. You can like, you can share, you can tell a friend. You can go on YouTube and subscribe. I'm so close to getting the number of subscribers I need to start monetizing YouTube. These are all things that would be such a huge favor. If you think about it, a way to serve me. I'll take it. I appreciate it. And I look forward to the next time we get to meet. Thank you so much, friend. Chat soon. You've been listening to Call Me Friend. Executive producers for this show are Kevin Kagan and me, Daryn Kagan. Could not do this show without my great team. Produce Your Podcast and Journeys Inc. Production by Abe Fallick, Tammy Gagno, and Rob Paw.
Before you go, Call Me Friend is more than a podcast, it's a community. So head over to callmefriendpodcast.com to join the conversation. Or you can call or send a text to 912-766-0446, and you can leave Daryn a message there, or maybe even share a story of your own. Because when life gets real, you don't have to go it alone. Call a friend. Call this friend.